Welcome to the WB Mason Coaches Report with head coach Simon Riddiough. I'm Brian Bull, and coach, how's everything going?
It's going. It's doing all right.
Well, a couple of competitive one-goal losses to start the season in the Penn State Invitational. Just talk about your team's efforts against Syracuse and then Penn State.
Yeah, it's a tough one. We're playing two very good teams. Syracuse have just joined the ACC, which in itself allows you to recruit better talent. And I thought we were a little bit scared at first. The first half came out slow. But credit to our players at half-time, we adjusted our tactics a little bit. They bought into what we were trying to tell them to do. And we got ourselves in the game. And at 2-1, I thought we were going to shut up shop and finish the game off. Unfortunately, we didn't. And fair play to Syracuse, they fought hard to come back into the game and found a way to win, which is what we need to do moving forward. And then Penn State, obviously Penn State is number 4 in the nation. We approached this game a little bit more relaxed from our perspective, and I thought the girls stepped up fantastically. The first half, Penn State came at us, which we knew they would. They've got some super talented players, they're well coached, and they put us on the back foot, and they could have scored 3 or 4 goals in that first half. But the second half, our girls stepped up, and I thought we probably edged the better of the play in the second half, which is fantastic moving forward for the rest of the year.
Well, in the second half, 7 corner kicks, a couple of good chances to tie it up. Just talk about that type of effort against a team that made it to the national championship game last year. Just talk about what that means for the team's confidence going forward, that you can play with anybody.
Yeah, I think the girls came off the field feeling confident, feeling that they maybe deserved a little bit more than what they got. And that's the best thing about playing these teams early in the year. You learn your weaknesses, and we got that from this weekend. We figured out what our weaknesses were. We figured out what we need to improve upon. But you also get the ability to psychologically build up the team, especially if the results are close and the performances are good. So from that perspective, the team came off this weekend, in a good place. The coaching staff not so much. 0-2 was not anywhere to start a season. But the players I think are ready to step up to the next plate and move forward through the season, and hopefully get some wins as we go forward.
Sam Scolarici scores 2 goals in the first game, just like last season started the season with a goal and started last year on a hot streak. Just talk about how important it is for her and the team that she can continue to provide those chances early on.
Yeah, to be fair to Sam, she ended the season last year on a real good note. She was clutch. Most of the baseball analogy misses November. That's what she was last year for us. She kept scoring big goals, big PKs in big times. And I think that kind of gave her the confidence to believe that she can be a big time player for us. And this summer she worked tremendously hard. She came into pre-season fit as a fiddle. And she's moved forward with a goal scoring knack. And 2 goals against Syracuse is nothing to be laughed about. And she had a couple of good looks against Penn State, so I think she's ready to go. I think our whole offensive scheme's ready to go, and things look good from that perspective.
And Leah Galton, the conference preseason player of the year, and obviously one of the best talents to ever come through the program, scores a goal against Penn State. Like you were talking about last year with Sam having a great postseason, Leah also had a great postseason. So just how good, from a coaching standpoint, was it to see that effort building off of last year and scoring a goal?
Yeah, Leah loves fitness. She loves individual work. She's the ideal student athlete. She's always in the weight room. She's always doing shooting on herself, and that's great to see. And it rubs off on the rest of her players. Unfortunately, she's not 100%. She's had a little couple niggly injuries throughout pre-season, whether it's a dead leg, a broken toenail. Just little things that have not really allowed her to be 100%. Even so, at 80%, Leah Galton's better than most. And I'm sure she was identified by Penn State as the player to stop, and as well as Syracuse. So it's great that the freshman coming into a sophomore year has that reputation already. And she played very well on Sunday, and she scored a great goal. She could have had 1 or 2 more as well, but like I said, I think from our perspective, we're in a good position right now. We're in a good place. We would like to have split last weekend from a coaching perspective, but you know, our ultimate goal is to get to the NCAAs, and if we can get there, however we get there, we'll do whatever we can.
What have you seen from Amber Stobbs as she now is healthy, had a great summer? Just what did you see from her in the first 2 games?
Yeah, you know, what the problem with summer teams is you get used to their style of play, and their objectives or goals for you are different to what ours are for Amber. And against Syracuse, we were a little bit more direct than we would like, and Amber's not that type of player. Against Penn State, we sat after the game at Syracuse and we had a good 20-minute talk, me and Amber, about what our goals are for her and what her responsibilities are for this team and what she needs to do to benefit our team. And to be fair to the kid, she was fantastic. She was probably our best player on Sunday. Her and Brittany Fariello were lights out, and she did what I asked her to do on Friday after the meeting. She did exactly what I wanted her to do, and she just murdered their fullback every time. And it was great to see, because I think she started realising that she can be that player for us. And you know, when you've got that kind of three front, and then you've got Lulu to throw in the mix as well, you've got a potent offense which have got different looks, and I think things are looking good from that perspective.
And just talk about the goalkeepers, a bit of a different dynamic. Last year, Emily Morfides plays over 99% of the minutes. These first 2 games, you split the responsibilities and almost a platoon for the first 2 games. Was that by design, or did you see something during the course of the game?
No, it's design. Pre-season's such a short time, 2.5 weeks. We played 2 scrimmages. It's very difficult to really get an evaluation on either keeper. We know how good Emily is. And Freddie had a very good pre-season, so it was unfair to Freddie not to give her some playing time. And I think it's just a healthy competition rivalry moving through the season. Whether we platoon for the rest of the year, I don't know. Whether we, you know, depending on who performs particularly well, if somebody's lights out, chances are they're going to get the starting spot for the rest of the year until they make a mistake. At this moment in time, we're still feeling it out. Emily's been great in pre-season, and so has Freddie. So we just kind of we want to be fair to both of them, and we want to keep them both excited about playing, and we want to keep them moving forward and developing throughout the year. So I think this is the best way right now. But ultimately, we're going to do what's best for the team as we get closer to conference.
Well, on Friday, you get to start the home portion of the schedule against North Dakota State. Hofstra historically has played very well at home. Just how excited are you and the team to play on a familiar field?
Yeah, it's great. You know, from my perspective, there's a little bit more trepidation than normal. We've got a new surface, and we have to adjust to that. And hopefully, our team will acclimatise quickly. And you know, we've had 2-3 weeks on it, so it shouldn't be a big adjustment. But we're excited. We love playing at home. We love the administration there watching us. We love the parents and families and the students. And when you get a good atmosphere from a student life, it just makes the experience so much better. And our girls love to play in that kind of environment. We've got some gamers on this team who like pressure, and they don't shy away from the light. And that's going to bode well for this weekend when we play North Dakota State on Friday and BC on Sunday.
And North Dakota State, obviously an unfamiliar opponent you don't really get a chance to see too much. What do you know about them, and what type of challenges do they present?
Yeah, it's an interesting one. They're probably very similar to us in the rankings, in the RPI. So I know they're going to be a very battle-tested game. And their coach is a fantastic coach. He's a great guy. But they're coming from North Dakota to New York, and it's different. I'm hoping they struggle with the adjustment of you know, getting used to New York and the traffic and the driving and the fields and the way we play. But it's going to be a battle. All these games are going to be battles. Division 1, you know, there's not many bad teams in there. North Dakota is going to be an evenly matched game, and they're going to bring some things we're not used to. You know, Midwest and those areas of the country don't play the same type of soccer as we do. So it's going to be interesting from my perspective, from a coaching perspective, to see how they do things. how they do their substitutions, how they rotate, what kind of style. It's going to be a good learning experience for everyone.
Well, on Sunday, there's a more familiar opponent as Boston College comes in, and they're receiving votes in the national poll, and obviously last year it's a rematch of the NCAA tournament. For an opponent that you're a little bit more familiar with, just talking about the challenges that they present being a national program.
Yeah, Alison's done a fantastic job with BC. They are the perennial power in the Northeast. They took over that mantle from Yukon from years past, and they've just carried on with it, and they've just got better and better each year. They've got super talented players. We saw that last year. They lost a couple of big-time players, but you know, a program of BC's level just reload. They don't, you know, they lose a national kid, and they get a national kid to come in for them. With a healthy rivalry, that hopefully we can, you know, cause an upset, get something out of this game. But like I said, BC's a traditional powerhouse, and they are one of the top 20 teams in the nation. You know, they just lost to Stanford, who are number 2 in the nation in double overtime, and they beat a very, very good BU team. So, you know, it's difficult to see where they ultimately will land, but they're probably going to be a top 10, top 15 team by the end of the year.
Well, it'll be interesting to see how it plays out. Coach, thank you very much for the time.
Yeah, thanks, Brian.
And thank you, fans, for watching the WV Mason Coaches Report right here on GoHofstra.com.